to come to New Haven and specifically to the Chamber of Commerce office. And my name's Vince Buchanan, and I'm the president and CEO of the New Haven Chamber of Commerce. And as we all know, there's some very critical votes that will be placed come next Tuesday, and specifically these are votes that we feel are going to have long-lasting impact not only on our community, the East Allen County community in general, but the region at large. And with that, the Chamber Board has decided to make known publicly the position that is being taken by the board after polling many of our membership. And with that, I'd like to introduce Sherry Berghoff, who is the current chairperson of the New Haven Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. Sherry?
I'm going to start by reading a letter that we sent out to our membership, and there's a copy of the letter here if you want to take it with you when you leave, so that if you miss something that I've read and want to go back and review it, you can. But the letter starts with our Chamber's mission statement, and the mission for our Chamber: provide services to its members and through its strategic partnerships be a leader in promoting economic development for the benefit of the greater New Haven community. With Election Day fast approaching, the crucial vote on the East Allen County Schools referendum is approaching, we felt it necessary to reiterate our position. The New Haven Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, who represents 314 businesses throughout East Allen County, do not support the referendum. The referendum is a vote to increase financing, our taxes, to keep the status quo. And the status quo is not what we need. It's not what the New Haven business community needs. East Allen County Schools are trying to tell us that the referendum will go to improve education. But all you need to do is examine the numbers East Allen County Schools themselves are presenting. You'll realize that many of the funds will be used to replace other government funding that is going away. In addition to the funding cuts, the East Allen County School Board has voted to keep 5 high schools open. High schools are the most expensive schools to operate, and thus their projection of $6.8 million a year savings for the redesign plan is short-sighted and overstated. We do agree that there needs to be changes. However, we believe the cuts the school board are proposing are too few and the transitional costs are too high. You can calculate the financial impact of your commercial business or your residence by visiting the state's website, and that website is listed in the letter if you'd like a copy of it. But a sample calculation: if you're a business in this area and you have an assessed value of $500,000 a year, there would be a tax increase for you of $1,855, or a total of $12,985 over the 7-year referendum period. This tax increase is not limited by the state's circuit breaker tax caps that have been put in place. So this referendum amount can go over and above that. We value our members, and we are working diligently to keep you informed. The financial impact to your business will be significant. The tax will be levied on both real and personal property. East Allen County Schools would have you believe that the tax is simply on assessed real property value, but a confirmation with the Ways and Means Committee indicates that the tax is levied on all assessed property. We will continue to work diligently to fulfill our mission by serving our businesses to the best of our ability. So that's the letter that just went out to our membership yesterday so that they could understand where the board stands on this. In the letter, I gave the $500,000 assessed value tax rate, but the business that I work for, New Haven Care and Rehabilitation Center, our net assessed value is right around $1 million. The tax that will be levied on my business, $3,709 a year. That's a total of almost $26,000 over 7 years. I'm not willing as a business owner to pay that amount of money for status quo. It's just not acceptable. I know a lot of you were over at the mayor's press conference earlier, and the huge push for us, twofold. One, businesses cannot afford a tax increase right now. We're looking at tax increases in other areas, unemployment tax increases and things like that. So this is just one tax business is looking at this year. If you take in totality all of the taxes that's going to be assessed on the businesses of this area, we're looking at potential $5,000–$6,000 tax increase for 1 year. What happens to that tax? Well, we either got to cut our budgets, which means cut staff, cut services, or we've got to increase our prices. Can the economy in this area absorb either of those right now? We need to keep our employees employed, and we need to keep our costs static so that we don't have to raise our prices. Thomas Friedman, some of you may know him, and I've been doing some research about business concepts and those sorts of things, but Thomas Friedman wrote 2005 that we are experiencing a quiet crisis in our nation. And that quiet crisis is twofold. There's an ambition gap between our country and other countries, and there's an education gap between our country and other countries. If we don't improve our education, how can we expect our community, our students to be prepared to compete in a global market? It isn't just about New Haven. It isn't just about East Allen County. It's about a world issue, global economics. I'll take some questions.
Okay, what if the referendum doesn't pass and the board decides that it's not gonna work to cut more schools or to close more schools, and they cut academic programs, and there's no chance of summer school returning, and there's no full day kindergarten? Are you guys gonna have any regrets, or, you know, how are you gonna feel if that worst case scenario happens?
But you are insinuating that because the referendum passes, we're gonna be able to have summer school. We're gonna be able to increase education. What I'm saying, and what our board is saying, just by examining what East Allen County Schools has reported and said to us, there's additional cuts coming from the state for them. There's additional cuts. So what does that mean? They're losing funding for special programs already. That's already in there. Dr. Green has said they're losing funding for some special programs they already have. Plus the state has already put them on notification that says there's going to be more cuts coming. So they're wanting us to believe they're going to take this referendum money and improve education. By the time we get through the new state cuts and refund programs that they're losing funding for, there's not going to be money left to improve education. And how can you improve education when you're spreading that over 5 high schools, which we're already doing? We're already spreading our resources over 5 high schools, and they can't allow AP classes, language classes, those sorts of things. They're not happening now because we have 5 buildings.
Okay, so you don't think that they probably will be able realistically to offer a lot of the things that they're saying the referendum will allow them to offer?
I say if you look at their numbers, there is no way that they're going to be able to supply the things that they say they're going to supply. Their numbers are overstated. Their tax savings says 6.8, but they're going to spend way more than that in transitional costs. Any other questions? From anybody else? Any comments?
So when did you guys send that letter out? Do
It
you
went in the
remember?
mail yesterday.
Okay. Okay. And are you guys planning on? The members aren't going to take any vote or anything. You guys just sent the letter out. You're making the statement, and
Taking
that's
the
that.
position.
But you're pretty confident that most of your members would support this opinion.
I'm pretty confident that the majority of our members support this. You drive up and down the street, you can look on their posted signs and see their position.
Yeah.
And everyone on the board did. I mean,
Okay.
The entire board.
The entire
supported
board,
Okay.
it was
it. I
unanimous.
think that speaks highly.
Sarah, you love it.